This electric bike wants to replace your car, but is it the ultimate commuter? Big shout out goes out to Engwe for reaching out to me and asking me to review one of their electric bikes. This is the L16 model. In this review, I'm gonna go over everything there is to know about this long-range electric bike. But first, let's get started with the specs. So this is the all-new Engwe L16 electric bike. It features a 750 watt, 1500 watt peak hub motor in the rear with 75 Newton meters of torque. This is the dual battery version, so we have a 48 volts 18 amp hour built-in battery as well as a 48 volt 23 amp hour battery in the rear for a combined total of 41 amp hours. That is nuts. Engwe claims that this should give you a range of up to 150 miles using pedal assist mode 1, and depending on riding conditions, of course. We have 16-inch by 4-inch fat tires coupled with hydraulic brakes front and rear with 160mm rotors. This bike also has a front suspension fork for a smooth, comfortable ride, a Shimano 7-speed with the Shimano derailleur, adjustable handlebars, as well as an adjustable seat that's fairly comfortable, and we also have a rear rack. In the front of the bike we have a headlight that's decently bright, and in the rear we have a tail light and an active brake light. The total weight of the dual battery version is 100.8 pounds with the max load capacity of 264 pounds, and it is IPX4 rated. And up on the handlebars we have our rear brake, a half twist throttle, and our Shimano gear switcher. In the center we have a color display, and on the left side we have our front brake, our on, off, and mode selection button, a headlight button, and a bell. And that's pretty much it for the specs. Now as far as the price, this dual battery model goes for $13.99 or just about $1,400, and there is a single battery version which goes for $8.99 or just about $900. But regardless of which model is right for you, I will have a discount code that'll be in the description down below along with a link if you're interested in this bike. Now that we got the specs out of the way, let's jump straight into our speed test. Now very quickly, before I do the speed test, I do want to show you the starting procedure. These batteries, whether you go for the single battery or dual battery, they both have an on-off switch. In the single battery version, it's right where the charge port is at, so hopefully you guys can see that. That needs to be switched on in order for the bike to turn on. And the same thing goes for the secondary battery. Hopefully you guys can see that. It's a little hidden, but there's a button over here. You got to press it in order for that second battery to turn on. Now you don't have to turn both of them on, up to you. You can just run it on either one if you have the dual battery version. I'm just gonna run one battery for the review. And once you're on the bike, we have a power button over here. Hit that for a few seconds and the bike will turn on. Now we have 5 different speed modes or pedal assist modes on this bike. 0 means no throttle, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. For our speed test, I'm going to be testing mode 5. Now one last thing I want to quickly mention is this bike might come locked at 20 miles an hour out of the box, and there's a way to unlock it to make it go 28. So pretty easy. With the bike off, you want to hold down the throttle fully and the brake at the same time, and keep holding them as you turn the bike on. And as soon as the screen turns on, you can let go of the power button and you hold down the throttle and the brake for about 9 seconds. The display will show 999, flash it, and as soon as it does that, you can let go and the bike is unlocked. I already unlocked mine, so we're going to be testing mode 5 unlocked. So I got my GPS app open in my pocket, and let's see how fast this thing can go. Okay, so takeoff is pretty immediate. No major delay, like a split-second delay, but the bike starts going right away. Decent amount of torque for the amount of power that this hub motor has, and we're going right away. Now, like I said, this bike is supposed to hit 28 miles an hour when unlocked, but I'll be honest with you, if I can get anywhere near 25, realistically, I'd consider it a successful speed test. The bike is showing 29.9. It got there fairly quick. I'm just gonna keep on going till the end of the street, so my GPS app has enough time to register that speed. All right, that should be enough, and let's check our results. Oh man, look at that. GPS app clocked me at 30.9 30.1 miles per hour. That is amazing. So 30.1 miles per hour with my weight on it, about 150 pounds. That is amazing. I love when this happens, when a brand advertises a certain top speed and you actually get a faster top speed than advertised. That is always good. So I'd consider this an extremely successful speed test. Now, very quickly, before I talk about the riding experience, I do want to talk about Engwe for a second. Man, I've worked with Engwe for many times. This is like the third or fourth time I've worked with them. Engwe has been around forever, well-known player in the e-bike space, and they got some really high quality stuff. I like their stuff. As far as the riding experience itself goes, man, this thing is unique because it's like a step-through design bike, but those 16-inch wheels make it feel so, I can't explain it. It feels very cool. Now, this bike is fairly light, especially the single battery version, but even the dual battery version, man, this thing is so nimble. Like, I feel like I can throw the front around like crazy. It's so light, insane. As far as the brakes go, we have very nice hydraulic brakes, 160 millimeter rotor, working my way up to about 20 miles an hour, hitting the brake in 3, 2. Ooh, aggressive. So according to that skid mark, we're looking at an estimated stopping distance of about 20 feet or so from about 20 miles an hour. Now, one thing to keep in mind, and I always say this, these brakes are brand new. They will perform better as they bed in, and you should expect better results. But overall, like I said, very interesting riding experience. So this is our front fork over here, our suspension. It's a pretty basic and generic front fork. I've seen it before, but this one seems to be softer than usual. This is a hardtail, so no rear shock. Let's see how it does over a bump while sitting down. Woof, a little harsh, I will be honest with you. It kind of needs that rear shock. Let's try another bump while standing up, see what happens. Okay, that felt a whole lot better when I'm off the seat. Now, it's not really made for it, but does this thing like a little curb hop over here. Oh yeah, handled it pretty good. As long as you're off the seat, you should be okay, because like I said, hardtail, so no suspension in the rear. Now, it was able to handle that little curb hop, and you know, for basic and general road riding and, you know, bumps on the road, it should be sufficient enough, but don't expect anything crazy out of this fork. Overall, for road stuff, pretty decent. So I'm 5'8", 150 pounds, and this is what I look like on the bike. Feels pretty nice and natural. Like I said earlier, the handlebars is adjustable, so you can bring it up, away from you, closer to you, and the seat is adjustable, so that's pretty nice. As far as my sitting position, I'm like not really hunched over, but I'm not fully upright. Again, I can fix that by changing the handlebars. And as far as pedaling goes, feels pretty natural to me. Got plenty of room here, and feels great. Now, I do want to stop real quick and show you the seat. So this is our seat over here. Pretty typical mountain bike style seat, but as far as comfort level, look at this. Hopefully it comes across. Extremely comfortable. Very, very nice. And then, like I mentioned, you can bring it up and down, and the handlebars, you can change the angle of attack and pretty much play with them as much as you want. Pretty good, and overall, very nice size and fit for me. Now, as far as the tune goes, like I said in the speed section, we have 5 different speed modes, so you can use 1 and get the most range, or 5 and get the top speed. Now, I do want to show you the throttle response real quick. I'm in pedal assist mode 5, and look at that. I can barely twist the throttle and make this thing crawl if I wanted to. It's got great turning radius too. And then when you need that power, give it full beans. It's got a very, very slight delay, but it starts going fairly quick and reaches its potential top speed also fairly quick, so I like that. Now let's talk about the 150 miles that Engwe claims. Guys, you gotta understand, to get 150 miles, you definitely need obviously the dual battery version. Both of the batteries on. You have to probably be in pedal assist mode 1 using pedal assist. That's pretty much the only way you'll get close to that advertised range. Now, other things you have to keep in mind, of course, when it comes to range are things like rider weight, PSI, like tire pressure, the weather outside, road conditions, is it windy or not? All these things will come into effect when determining, range on a bike. So keep that in mind. Now let's see how does the pedal assist works over here. So I'm starting with my left foot forward. Half a revolution. Starts going right away. Okay, perfect. And it's one of those pedal assists that doesn't matter how you pedal, like slow or fast, it's gonna give you the most amount of power. That's kind of how I like it. So pretty responsive. And as far as power, I want to show you that this thing is a little feisty little bike. Look at this thing. It just wants to lift the front wheel up like crazy. So it's a small bike, but it's got some power to it. Overall though, the tune is great. Now it's time for what could possibly be the toughest test for this bike in this review, and I'm talking about this hill climb. I'm gonna be in pedal assist mode 5, using throttle only, and let's see, will it be able to climb this hill? And I say this in every review or every time I do this test, guys, the cameras do not do this hill justice. It never looks as steep as it is, but it's fairly steep. Now the bike is gonna lose some speed. That's expected. It always happens. We did drop to about 16 miles an hour, but as long as we keep on climbing, that's the important part here. And it is climbing, and we're almost at the end over here, and it managed to do it. It struggled a little bit. I'd say it struggled like 10-15%, but overall managed to climb it. So that's pretty good. So if you're considering buying this bike and hills are a part of your commute, or you have hills where you live, it will handle some hills, nothing too crazy. Now you have a general idea of what this thing is capable of. It could handle some hill climbs. I personally consider this bike a great commuter, especially with the dual batteries. Some to take to the beach, ride on the boardwalk, run some errands, last mile commuting, going camping, perfect for that. It's not necessarily an off-roader, especially because of the hardtail, not my favorite, but this is a review and I do want to test it. It's a short section, guys, but it's just to give you like a basic understanding, general idea of what to expect. Because it's a hardtail, you're probably in for a fairly rough ride. Over here we got some loose beach style sand and this hill climb. Will we have enough juice to make it? Let's go. Throttle only. Oh yeah, just about. Okay, cool. And as far as power, this thing is a little feisty e-bike, dude. Those wheels make it extremely fun. Now let's test our downhill performance. Okay, wasn't as noisy as I expected that front fork to be. I've seen this fork before on many e-bikes. Like I said, it's basic. For road riding and stuff like that, it's perfect. And you know what? Even for some light trail work, it should be sufficient enough, but again, don't expect like a crazy off-roader here, guys. Overall though, it should be perfect for, parks like this or very basic trails, what I call light trail work. So what do I think about the Engwe L16 electric bike? Let's do things I like and things I don't like. I'll start with things I like and I'll try to be quick. I kind of like the design. I'll be honest with you guys, I'm not the biggest fan of step-through design looking e-bikes, but I think the 16-inch wheels on this thing is what makes it look badass. It changed the whole vibe of this bike and I kind of dig it, so I like that a lot. I love the speed I was able to reach, and before that I love the fact that you can even unlock this thing, so that's very nice. And again, going back to the speed, faster than advertised, amazing. I love that. I'm loving those brakes, really high quality brakes, hydraulic, very nice. And I also think that this seat is extremely comfortable. I actually don't mind it at all. That was very nice. Another thing I like is how custom you can make this bike is, meaning you can change the seat up and down, you can change the angle of the handlebars and actually bring them higher. So that's pretty nice. It's gonna fit a wide range of people. I like that. And lastly, I'm loving the dual batteries on this thing. 41 amp hours total on a 750 watt 1500 watt peak bike. Dude, you're gonna get so much range off this thing. Very nice. Now let's do things I don't like, and throughout the review I tried thinking about stuff I don't like. In this case, the only thing I don't really like would be the suspension. Now for general commuting, road riding, you know, a bump on the road here and there, and occasional curb hop and some light trail work, it's okay, but don't expect anything more than that. It's a very basic front fork. And the second thing is, I don't like the fact that we don't have a rear shock, but I can't fully hold it against the bike because it is a hardtail. It's not supposed to have it, but it would be so much nicer if it did. So that'll be the only thing that I dislike about this bike. Now I do want to mention one last time, this bike does come in two different versions: single battery, which is $899, 900 bucks, and dual battery for $1399. Now for the single battery version, you actually get this very nice looking storage bag in this where this battery is at. You'll get a storage bag with this much space to store things. Pretty cool. And then when you get the dual battery version, they send you the battery separately and you have to install it yourself. It's not the end of the world installing it. It's fairly easy, and they have videos showing you how to do it, so that's pretty cool. So overall, very good bike. Now, I'm pretty sure I was able to go over everything there is to know about the Engwe L16 electric bike. I appreciate you guys watching as always, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.